It was supposed to be an ordinary evening. 74-year-old Peggy Doyle had just settled into her recliner, the soft glow of her reading lamp filling the room, when the phone rang. Sharp, insistent, and far too late for anything good. She answered. "Mrs. Doyle," the voice said, clipped and authoritative, "this is Deputy Harris from the county courthouse. I'm calling because you failed to appear for jury duty this week." And then came the threat. She had never been in trouble a day in her life, but before she could take the next step, the caller demanded something even more dangerous. Something wasn't right. She hung up. Moments later, her daughter was on the phone. "Tonight, we expose the scam that uses fear, authority, and urgency to trap seniors in a crime that never happened, and a summons that was never real. This is Fraud in a Moment, and the truth starts now." The summons that never came. The jury duty shakedown. It was just after dinner when 74-year-old Peggy Doyle heard the phone ring. A sharp, insistent sound that was cut through the quiet of her living room. She answered, expecting a neighbor or perhaps her daughter. Instead, a stern voice greeted her. "Mrs. Doyle," the voice said, clipped and authoritative, "this is Deputy Harris from the county courthouse. I'm calling because you failed to appear for jury duty this week." Peggy's heart stuttered. Jury duty? She hadn't received a single notice, not a letter, not a postcard, nothing. The voice hardened. "A warrant for your arrest is being issued as we speak." Her breath caught, her hands trembled, her world shrank to the sound of that voice, confident, official, terrifyingly certain. He knew she had recently moved. He even used the name of a real officer from her county, details pulled from public records and scraps of stolen data. And then came the threat. "If you don't want officers at your door tonight, you must pay the contempt of court fine immediately. Prepaid cards, wire transfer, or cash drop-off only." She felt the room tilt, then tried to explain. She never received a summons. There must be a mistake. She didn't want police cars outside her home. She didn't want her neighbors watching. So she reached for her purse. He pressed on, layering fear with precision. "We have your address. We know you recently moved." She had never been in trouble a day in her life. "Payment must be made now," the voice repeated. "Prepaid cards, wire transfer, or cash drop-off. Failure to comply will result in immediate arrest." She didn't want trouble. She didn't want embarrassment. She didn't want police cars pulling up in front of her home. And that's when he went in for the final blow. "Before we proceed, I need to verify your identity, date of birth, social security number, credit card information." The caller ID displayed the county courthouse, or so it appeared. She didn't know it was spoofed, a trick that lets scammers display any number they want on a victim's phone. But in that moment, that tiny flicker of hesitation, Peggy felt something shift. Something wasn't right. She paused. "Social security number?" she whispered to herself. "Credit card information?" Something felt wrong. Scared, confused, she immediately hung up. Moments later, her daughter was confirming the truth. Authentic jury duty notices always come by mail. Courts never call demanding payment, and no legitimate official asks for personal information over the phone. Peggy wasn't careless. She wasn't naive. She was targeted by a scam that began in New York in 2001 and has spread across the country, preying on seniors through fear, urgency, and impersonation. What did we learn from this story? 1. Jury duty notices always come by mail. Courts do not call, text, or email first. 2. No legitimate official will ever demand payment over the phone, especially not with gift cards, wire transfers, or cash drop-offs. 3. Caller ID can be faked. Scammers use spoofing to make their number look like the courthouse. 4. Never give personal information to an unexpected caller. Birth dates, social security numbers, and credit card details should never be shared. 5. Always hang up and verify. Call the courthouse directly using a number you look up yourself. 6. Fear is the scammer's favorite tool. If a caller pressures you, threatens you, or demands secrecy, it's a scam. Peggy was targeted because scammers know seniors respect the law. They know a threat of arrest hits harder than any sales pitch. They know that fear, especially fear of public embarrassment, can silence logic in an instant. The jury duty scam doesn't rely on sophistication. It relies on spoofed caller IDs, stolen personal details, and voices trained to sound official. It relies on seniors believing they've done something wrong, even when they haven't. But here's the truth. You cannot be arrested for missing a jury summons you never received. Courts do not call demanding money, and no legitimate official will ever ask you for your Social Security number over the phone. The next time a voice claims you're in trouble, the next time someone demands secrecy, urgency, or payment, the next time fear tries to take the wheel, remember Peggy's story. Hang up, take a breath, call someone you trust, because the strongest defense against fraud is refusing to let fear make the decisions. This has been Fraud in a Moment, where we expose the schemes hiding in plain sight and give you the tools to protect what's yours. Until next time, stay alert, stay steady, and remember, if you are ever threatened for missing jury duty, it's 100% certain the scammer on the other line is after more booty.